right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Joe Reichel is here from Damage Control Services. He's here with Shawn Scott, and we're going to learn a little bit about our homes, our plumbing, and repair work, etc. Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good morning.
The phone number to call if you'd like to be on the air is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, which is 622-9622. And today we're going to talk about septic tanks. Is that right?
Well, we're going to talk about a multiple of that doesn't sound right. A multiple of plumbing, a multiple of plumbing issues. Anything plumbing related, we can answer today.
Oh, good.
Since we've got Shawn here on the air with us, but we had a caller last week ask some questions as far as septics. I know we had talked about it before, and I thought it'd be good to have Shawn back on. One of the things was the life expectancy of a septic, and then also a B part of that question was how often should a septic be drained?
So the life expectancy of a septic system, it's not just the tank. The drain field is actually the more important part of the situation. That's the hidden part that everyone forgets about. But it's almost like anything else, like a water heater, or there's a 10-year life expectancy, but it could actually, most of them go 15, 20, even up to 50 years. And that all depends on the maintenance of it.
This is the tank part?
The drain field part.
Oh, this is the drain field, okay.
And the tank, as long as nobody drives over or crushes, is pretty much standard there. If you're going to do a replacement on your field, if it goes bad, it's the field only. You got a couple of things that come up. Rain, your soil content, if it changes from the time of the lifespan. If it's a rental house, sometimes they fit like 40 people in there. That's not necessarily the best scenario for a septic system, but the usage of it, basically, like if you start off retirement people, their systems will last forever. You have a couple kids in there, it's gonna wear and tear it a little bit more. So you can go anywhere from, I've seen them from 10 years up to 50 so far. So there's not really a standard. Clay areas, it will not last as long. So if you got good ground, it'll last a long time.
And do we affect? Well, obviously the number of people do, but
sure, the number of people, chemicals that you put down. So you understand a little bit when it goes through your tank, and then it builds the bacteria and it eats the feces, I guess would be the correct term. You want that in there. So if you pour the wrong chemicals in there.
This is the chemicals you're talking about, or the bacteria?
Yeah, like if somebody puts bleach in there, like if they're cleaning and it's heavy, it's going to kill that, which is not going to eat up the...
Which is bad.
Yes, it is bad for the system. There's products out there that you should get, like we use Pro Pump, which you can get from basically anywhere, like a Rid-X pod or something like that. And basically, it's like a car. You want to keep the oil changed on it, so you want to definitely maintain it. It'll last a lot longer. And
but when we wash our dishes or clean our toilets, doesn't that all go into there? And
some of it. And there's bio-friendly chemicals out there, of course, and they're a little bit more expensive. And they tell you not to use your disposal because it does the same thing basically, but if you use it moderately, there's not an issue. It's just over usage on the stuff, and through the years it doesn't seem like they last as long because there's so many new cleaning supplies out and chemicals and stuff like that. But
but bleach is the one to stay away from.
Yeah, bleach, it'll kill anything. I mean, that's why it's bleach.
So not using, if you're going to use cleaning chemicals, will it have a warning on the...
Sure, it'll kind of tell you what's bio-friendly on there if you read them.
Okay.
Another thing is, don't flush anything down the toilet. Other than toilet paper. They say baby wipes, even the friendly ones,
really,
they don't really disintegrate. You set it in water and see how long it takes to disintegrate. Toilet paper, condoms, tampons, the normal stuff. Basically, whatever you're not going to eat, don't flush it down the toilet. That's a pretty simple way to think about it.
Whatever you're not going to eat,
don't flush it down the toilet.
I have to think about that.
Right?
Not whatever you're not going to eat.
Right, whatever you're not going to eat, don't flush it down.
No wonder you get the most views. I just looked last time you were here. You guys had the most views on that video.
Is it because we both got faces for radio?
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to know what
Joe's
makes
fan base.
people. It's Joe's fans.
Go figure.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
I think there's chemistry between the two of you. I think that's what it was.
You know, there is good chemistry because we think
But
alike.
we don't need toilet paper. I guess I'm stuck on this thing.
Well, I'm not even going to go there because there are some things that are made that you can eat that, you know.
So toilet paper is made to eat.
Sure,
guess
it's made
what
out of trees, you know. So paper's made out of trees.
I guess what you're saying is if it was
Sure.
something you could eat,
Right.
you could flush it.
Yes, sir.
But
Yeah. I mean, I did have a habit in
don't
school of chewing
flush
on my
something.
paper, so
don't flush something you're not going to eat.
it wasn't the dog who ate my homework, it was me.
Oh no.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Shawn. How regularly should I have my septic pumped?
Once again, it almost depends on the area you're in or how many people are living in it. The recommendation, if you own a septic company, you always go, you know, every 1 to 3 years, but it's not necessarily the truth. You're just getting them on a maintenance contract or something. But really, it's 3 to 5 years, and basically you're checking the system, checking the filter. Once again, you don't want to.
Where's the filter?
The filter, not all of them have it, but the newer houses, they're on the backside where you pull them up and you clean the filter before it goes in the drain field to catch a lot of the paper and stuff. So sometimes when we go out to a pump, it's not necessarily we need to clean the filter is mainly what it is. It could say people could check that themselves.
Really?
Yeah. And
I've never seen that.
When we go out to pump a tank, if the homeowners are there, we'll usually show it to them definitely if that's the problem because they're flushing, you know, it's catching things that normally wouldn't be there, so they can save some money by checking it themselves if they want. And
Does the toilet paper get caught in the filter?
some things get caught in there, yeah. If it doesn't break down enough, which would be the bacteria not breaking down the stuff. So
Is it a very, very porous filter? I mean,
no, it's a pretty good size.
So it's
not like very fine.
It's not like an air filter.
No, sir.
It's not like
thicker than
the
that.
lint screen on your dryer.
Yeah, it's thicker than that.
Okay, so it lets big things through.
Yeah, it'll let
Thicker than that.
A little bouncier too, I'm thinking.
Now, how often would the filter need changed or checked?
Now, just basically whenever you pump this, the same thing, 3 to 5 years, you're checking it.
But I think the question last week was from somebody who was asking about bleach, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were asking about cleaning chemicals and whatnot.
or Lysol, that's probably no good too, right?
That one's another one on the list. Yeah, you could, moderately, if you're spraying down your toilets or something, you're not directly
Just the
pouring
edge,
it down there.
yeah.
You're not filling it. Another thing is when people put those chlorine tablets in their toilet.
Right. The blue
that's
water?
pure bleach. Like,
Was that the blue water thing?
yeah, blue water, white water. Like you'll see the big chalks.
Right.
And back before they had salt pools and stuff, you don't go in the pool because you just shocked it. I don't know if you ever burned your eyes jumping in a pool, but that is concentrated chlorine in there. So when they do that, the toilet looks real pretty, but not only is it killing all your bacteria, it'll start to melt all your mechanisms inside the tank.
Oh, wow.
And your flapper
Does
will
that
stop
hurt the
working.
flapper?
It hurts the wrapper flapper.
This is why you guys get all the views.
It hurts the wrapper flapper.
It makes your flapper cry.
It's like a wink. Remember that lazy eye wink with the flapper? Just kind of like, it will warp the flapper. And you know what happens on that as well as the septic is a lot of running water hurts it. So if you have a leak on your toilet where it's constant just water, that's not good for it. Washing machine, we recommend that you do full loads if you can instead of partial loads, not only for the water but the soap. Showers, well, if you have teenagers, you're out of luck. They're going to take long showers anyway, so you need to minimize
full loads
your-
instead of partial loads.
Yeah, because you're just trying to save water.
I got you.
And then the old 3.5 gallon toilets, that's a full 3.5 gallons with every flush. You probably, if you went and bought a new 1.28 gallon toilet, it'll pay for itself just by not wasting that water.
Oh, really?
Water saver's a big issue on septics as well.
What is the difference? Like here at the mall, like if you were to use the restroom here, I don't think the restrooms here have them in the radio station. But there's no tank. It's just like plumbing directly to the toilet. Is that more efficient? It just uses exactly the amount it needs?
Yeah, well, those are use exactly what it needs. Are you talking about the urinals? Because are you using the urinals in there? The backside?
I'm not really sure. It's been so long. But I pointed to them all. But
there's no tanks. There's a flush mechanism, which is the same as your toilet in here. Are these sensors in them all?
You know what?
But what it does is it has a diaphragm and it lets only a ZAC part out. So it's a 1-inch pipe. It's a larger water feed that lets the water in instead of like using its tank.
Without a tank.
A flushometer toilet. So.
Okay, the flushometer.
And the ones that you have in here are like power flushes. They're like airplane toilets. When you flush them, they're like, those are actually they're less than 1.28 toilets. They're really efficient.
We don't have to worry about this if we're hooked up to a sewer, right?
Well, and that's a little bit, that's an issue too. Like we work for a lot of municipalities. They have to do they're a septic tank, but in a larger form.
Oh, so we still have to worry about it.
So yeah, like you'll on top of the world's a good example. If water softeners are going in the houses and they're actually draining them in their sewer systems, that would be like you hooking yours into one house. If they did one, it wouldn't be a bad idea. But if you had 200 homeowners using bleach and stuff, it's hurting their system as well.
I got you, right.
They're just a larger, septic tank is all theirs is. So the magnitude of people still hurts it if you're not using it properly.
The product that was brought up last week was called Ridex, I think. Was that right, Joe? Do you remember that?
That's probably the name brand. I mean,
that's a name brand? Okay.
That's the most known brand. Like you can get it from Kmart, Lowe's, box stores, and it's easier to get. And it's a good recommendation. I mean, it's.
But what is? I mean, is it actually living bacteria in that box?
Yes,
sir.
It
is.
Mm-hmm. When you drop it in and flush it, or if you buy the liquid form, it actually sends it through.
And does that replenish whatever the bleach might have killed?
It helps replenish it. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we need to take a little break, and we'll be right back. If you have a question, by the way, for either Joe or for Shawn, the number is the same. It's the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sunshine mixing with clouds today and hot with a thunderstorm in the area this afternoon and evening. The high today 92 to 96. Then mainly clear and warm tonight, though 73 to 77. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun. There can be a thunderstorm in places, mainly near the coast, though the high 92 to 96. And on Thursday, sunshine mixing with clouds. Watch out for a shower or thunderstorm, high 92 to 96. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. I'd like to invite you to stop by and see our new boutique area and meet our staff of professional stylists. Here at Hello Gorgeous, we are ready to update your look with the latest trends. And with summer here, it's the perfect time to brighten up your look. So make your appointment now for those highlights and Brazilian blowout. But don't stop there. We are a full-service salon offering manicures, pedicures, and facials also. So if you've been searching for a salon to call your own, come and see us at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located at 48 South Magnolia Avenue in downtown Ocala, right next to the Marion Theater. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. 351-5358.
Hello, gorgeous.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
We should eat our larger meals earlier in the day so we have energy, and eat our smallest meal at night so the body can focus on sleeping. Successful relationships aren't supposed to be perfect. They require vulnerability. Telling yourself that a guy isn't good enough, our expert says you're really just giving yourself an excuse to stop trying. Couples should send 2 texts a day that provoke interest. Like, I want to tell you about this cool vacation idea I had.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
All right, 10 minutes before 11 o'clock. Let's rejoin Joe Reichel and Shawn Scott here on Damage Control. Remember, if you have a question or just want to comment, the number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. What's the matter? 622-9622. Oh, come on. This is why you guys have the most views.
This is it right here.
Yeah.
It's the blue and pink show.
Last time you were orange, and he was
That's right.
sort of
I almost
purple.
grabbed my orange shirt.
We should have,
Yeah.
we should have
And
coordinated
then somebody
that a little
commented
better.
that I look like the fat pumpkin, so I'm like, oh, it's
Oh,
not
no.
Charlie Brown today.
Oh,
So.
no. That's not nice. Why would somebody
Oh,
do
wait, that was me in the mirror. I'm like, what happened that day?
Okay, so what about homeowners, Shawn, if they've got a house and they're wanting to, maybe do some upgrades, plumbing upgrades, this is some pre-maintenance things. I know we've talked before about tankless hot water heaters and the efficiency of those. What do you think?
I could tell you that if I was remodeling or building a new house today, I would put in a tankless water heater. Gas. Electric still's got a little bit of ways to go, but if you have natural gas or LP, not only is it efficient, but if you go away on vacation or something, then you're not going to have a bottom rust out and water all over the floor. It only works when you turn your faucet on. So,
Yeah, and you mentioned as far as the bottom rusting out and water all over the floor, that's one of the calls that we get as far as damage control. Homeowners calling, they've got water everywhere because of that.
that goes back to that maintenance where we talk, where some heaters will last 10 years, some could last 40. We notice a lot more in the garage that the bottom rusts out faster, mainly because chemicals like lawnmower stuff, certain supplies. It's in the humidity where if the ones inside your house in a closet or something or a utility room usually last a little longer, unless then again they stick some type of chemicals in there to activate the rust. Because when you can maintain your heater, and thermostats and elements you could change for life. $40 each time something goes out. Your heater's basically a welded tank, so as long as it's living, there's no reason to change it. If somebody goes, I've had it 12 years, I think it's time, and I'm like, well, if it's not rusting, don't change it.
So, for that you're saying they could change the element,
Right,
replace
you
the
can change
element
the elements
inside?
or thermostats, and that's what heats the water. The tank itself is a welded, insulated tank that holds your water. So as long as it's not rusted, there's no
What do you
reason to
think
change it.
about the timers that people have that they put on water heaters, just as far as the efficiency of them?
Well, most of the time you'll get a Seco or Duke Energy or GRU. They'll put the timers on there to help save them, and they're really good. The only thing that we're not proactive that much is when they insulate the heater, because then you're actually making it sweat more.
Okay.
We are in Florida, so it makes sense up north, but when you stick another insulated jacket on something in Florida, it'd be like you walking out in the sun. You're going to sweat more. So when it does, then you're going to cause rust. So we're not very proactive on that. But the timers are, except we'll get calls at 11 at night and say, my heater's not working, and we'll go out there and the timers shut it off, because that's how Seco Power works, or any other electrical company. When you put it on there, they kind of dictate when they're going to, when they shut your power off to the heater.
Well, I know, some homeowners outside of the electric companies have them on their,
Right.
the electrician will come in and install it, and you can set up
When it runs.
right.
Because even if you're not home all day, your heater's it'll start getting cold during the day and heat itself back up. So that's where the tankless heater, it doesn't do that. So you save electricity and gas on that. Now,
Okay.
Another big way to save water, what a tankless doesn't do is get water there faster. That's a misconception. Like people I got a tankless heater, now I can get it faster to my bathroom. That doesn't happen. It just never runs out is the thing on the tankless. But there's a product out to get water in an existing house that you've lived in, to get water there without waiting, that saves electricity, water, and money. So that's a unique little thing. It was invented to save water, but everyone uses it because they don't want to wait. So there's a lot of items out there.
So I could turn on the shower and jump right in?
Yes, sir. Yeah. You jump right in. You need to take your towel off first, because I don't think you want to do that. You've done it, haven't you? You and that,
I don't know.
You and that wiggy flapper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good time.
I mean, I would have to change my whole routine.
Right.
I mean, just being able to get right in.
Just jump right in.
Just jump right in.
You know,
You still have to regulate. I mean,
it was your birthday.
I mean, it's gonna be too hot, or
It's well,
right?
you would still regulate. You would still regulate your temperature, and when I say immediate, it could actually go. It could take 6 seconds. So instead of 40 seconds or
right.
35.
Waiting for that hot water to get
three
through
or
the
four
line.
seconds because it goes underneath your sink, so you still might have the wait from the sink to the shower, which could be 3 to 4 seconds. But a lot of people some people come up with some ingenious ideas. So one of them is I listened to the plant lady earlier. So what they'll do is they'll go turn their hot water on, fill a bucket up with water, and wait till it gets hot, and then turn it off and go water their plants with that water. That way they didn't waste the water.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I think the most unique one that would really work is, because they tell you to brush your teeth with water, shut it off, brush your teeth. Well, if you turn your hot side on and brush your teeth, it's really cold water coming out if you're waiting for it. So by the time you're done brushing your teeth, it's actually hot water. So now you've saved water by not wasting it, using cold. So you've got water to your bathroom and brush your teeth. So that's probably one of the unique ways that is a good tip for people to save water.
Yeah, that adds up to them, sure.
Speaking of water, as far as you guys with Mike Scott Plumbing, as far as water runs through it, you guys do it. So that's everything. If a homeowner has septic,
irrigation, plumbing, anything. If that's it. If water runs through it, we do it. Gas work as well. It's not water, but barbecue grills.
Really?
You're adding a range in your house. Anything to do with piping, installing, testing. We have a large division in gas. It's pretty like each little division that we have has its own slogan. Like I won't go over the gas one, but that one's self-explanatory. The septic one is we don't take crap from anybody. We take crap from everybody. Our plumbing is if water runs through it, we do it. And
what's the gas one? You can't say the gas one?
Well, we say if you got gas, we got your problem fixed.
That's good.
So we, that's one a little off the chain. Now we did have a lady yell at me at a show one time because we do a lot of home and garden shows and talk about ourselves, and we'll work on wells like shallow well or a bladder tank, but we leave that to the professionals if it's a submergible. And this one lady you said you'd work on everything that has to do with water, and you couldn't fix my deep well. And I'm like, there's no apologizing because that is our slogan. But no, we don't do big submergible wells.
Do you have someone that you refer that to?
Yeah, we have some people that we refer to.
So you could throw a Mike Scott Plumbing shirt on them and send them out there?
If you look around, there's nobody that doesn't wear our apparel. It's out there everywhere.
I've got some of your products, but I don't wear any of the apparel.
That's right. You will.
I would, if I had it.
We've got a minute.
So if anyone has plumbing problems, they can go to MikeScottPlumbing.com, or what would be the phone number they'd want to call, Shawn?
If you want to call toll free, it's 1-866-314-4443.
And so if you've got water in places that you don't want it, one of the two of us would be able to help you, either Shawn Scott with Mike Scott Plumbing, or myself, Joe, with Damage Control Services. And you can reach me, 817-6574. That's my direct line. Or Joe at damageflorida.com.
Yeah. So
Thank you, Shawn, for being on the radio with me today.
Thank you for having me again.
Thank you both.
Thank you, Larry.
All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Ferguson, Missouri, expecting a visit from the Attorney General as it picks up the pieces from yet another night of violence when protests